Yo, was good? We live. Wanna know what's really interesting? I hit go live, right? And that joint just kept on loading, saying go live, going live, going live. But it never actually went live. I'm sitting here for like 2 minutes, didn't go live. I had to restart the page and now it's working. So what's good with y'all? How y'all doing? How y'all feeling? I didn't go live on Friday. Your boy needed to rest, but we are back. And we have a good topic for today. Kind of piggybacking on the last live conversation about the Phoenix, I'll be going a bit more in depth into the energy of it, what the experience of it is like, how to awaken it inside of yourself, some different things that I was being told by a Phoenix itself. Had an experience maybe a week ago by now, a few days to a week ago. And a Phoenix literally came to me and was teaching me kind of just like how to merge better with this energy and how to kind of better understand it. It wasn't even really with like words, like beyond, like not even telepathic. It was more like it was moving in certain ways, and rather than telling me about its energy, it was literally showing me it. And it's doing like certain movements and dances, and then like it would kind of come to me and like it's like its energy influenced me to move how it was moving, and we eventually were kind of like merging, and I merged with this Phoenix energy in the experience. And I kind of learned that if I do certain movements a certain kind of way in the physical, I can actually invoke that energy. Now, the movements, I can't even really like think about them. It's more about when I sit in the energy and feel it, my body naturally starts moving in certain kinds of ways that actually allow me to connect more with that Phoenix energy, kind of like nurturing that spirit. And I'll get more into the concept of nurturing spirits a little bit inside this live stream and tomorrow in a Patreon video that's going to go really in depth about what it means to nurture your spirits. But yo, what's popping? Let me get the chat up real quick. Yo, what's popping, Bob? You know what I'm saying? Yo, what's popping, Natty? You like the background? That's what's up. Yeah, I'm like, yo, people be scared of the dark. Yeah, I'm saying. So I'm like, let me just make it white, you know? I don't gotta sacrifice the whole picture. I'll just make it white. People are a bit more comfortable with that, you know? So that's exactly what I did. Let me let the Discord know that I'm live. You know, let me tell the Discord that I'm live and that they could pull up. Yeah, I love the dark too. You know, I love the dark, but some people be in my comments, they be scared, like, oh my God, your background looks so scary. And I kind of get it, but at the same exact time, it's like I'm so beyond that inside my mind, being scared of certain, but I get it though. So because of that, I'm like, you know what? The white look cool anyway. I'm feeling like the white energy and whatever the heck, you know, it looks dope. So I'm like, I might as well do this for the half off. You know, it looks fire. Plus, some people might feel a bit more comfortable now because of it. So it's a win-win. You know what I'm saying? Let me put in the chat. We are officially live. So I'm gonna get into the Phoenix stuff in a little bit. Um, I'm gonna get to that in a little bit. I'm just let some more people pull up real quick and stuff like that. But yeah, let me know how y'all been recently. How have y'all been? How y'all been doing? Like I said, I didn't go live on Friday. I had to kind of get some rest, you know. But I'm feeling good. I wasn't really feeling bad on Friday. I just, like I said, just needed a little bit more energy. Things are definitely changing up a little bit within my life. A lot of stuff is like inner, but also certain things in the outer, minor things in the outer are happening, which are producing like a lot of small shifts that lead to major results. I like that. It's kind of like that. I'm having terrible tooth pain. I think Ryan had some tooth pain like a few weeks ago. What's up with that? You have changed up a lot of things in your videos from a year ago. Changes are good. Yeah, you know, I evolve. You know, I evolve a little bit. You know, I try to make things better, more understandable. Although something about me, I will say this: just just to say it, right? Something about me is that I'm going to always kind of explain things in a somewhat intellectual way. Some things I will make simple, and some intellectual concepts I will simplify, mainly because I like to teach metaphysics, right? I'm not just here teaching like some simple whatever the heck. Although I do make things simple, a lot of people do find the way I explain things to be really simple. Sometimes it could be a bit wordy, intellectual, whatever the heck. But I understand that people use the mind. A lot of people are using their mind, and a lot of people need concepts that their mind can understand. So with the 12 planes and the omniverse framework and whatever the heck, that's kind of what I received from my out of body experiences. And I began to understand that and assimilate that inside of my mind and find a way to actually explain these different layers of reality, through a certain system that the mind can understand. And doing that allows people to mentally grasp certain concepts, which they can eventually experience within their own awareness. Now, certain things I can simplify, and at certain periods of time I will. But I'm also talking to people that like metaphysics, right? So I'm gonna explain metaphysical concepts that might be a bit more intellectual. It's kind of like how in everyday life, right? You can just know the basics about like, oh, the sky is blue, but science tells you why the sky is blue. You see? So some people like the science, and I'm kind of teaching like that metaphysical science. That's what I teach, and I just say that because I know that some people might prefer that things are simplified. And some things I do simplify, but other things will get a lot of detail. Definitely been going through it, but feeling better. I'm glad that you're feeling better for sure. Glad to catch this one spiritual word video and fourth eye video spiritual word popped up for me today, and such as hey, that's what's up. Yeah, I saw my boy video. I'm glad that he's back. Um, and it kind of deals with this Phoenix stuff. Even this comment right here about how this person, how about how you've been going through a lot. I definitely believe that some things I say inside this video might give more insight into what's going on with that. I just I'm glad to hear that, bro. Um, I'm gonna give it like 3 more minutes before I fully get into the concept and whatnot. I'm gonna give it a little bit more time, just a teeny weeny bit, just a teeny weeny bit. But yeah, we're gonna. I want to say this. We're going to also get into some astrology stuff too, because people don't recognize this, but although there's not a specific Phoenix zodiac sign, there is a zodiac sign that is very tied to the Phoenix. And I'm gonna show that by just what I'm gonna explain it, but I'm also gonna show that with like Google and stuff like that. Um, yo, what's good, Nick? By the way, nice to meet you. I'm Evan Cash to me about you. I had to tap in. Hey, that's what's up. Glad to meet you. Shout out to my boy Cash. Yeah, I'm glad that you're here. Hopefully I could share some things and make this worth your while. Yo, what's good, Yahoo? You know what I'm saying? What's good, my guy? All right. Um, so I think first what I'm gonna do is go over some descriptions of Phoenix energy. Background looking angelic, you feel me? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So one word that I'm gonna use for Phoenix energy is fierce, right? Now, when I say the word fierce, I mean like intensely powerful and wild energy. Some definitions of fierce deal with deal with something being extremely dangerous, and technically a phoenix could be dangerous if it wanted to harm you, but it doesn't, right? Phoenixes are actually very angelic themselves. And when it comes to the phoenix, I like this word fierce because this is the energy that I'm noticing that a lot of people are trying to capture when doing certain things. I mentioned Black Boy Max before, right? He calls himself a diva, right? He's trying to be fierce, right? He's trying to have that intense, powerful, I'm in your face, yeah, look at me. Same with Young Fear. My boy got the nails. He trying to be fierce. He even said he was feeling ferocious, right? Right? That deals with being fierce, right? So when it comes to being fierce, there's a masculine and feminine quality to that, which the Phoenix expresses, because the Phoenix is seen as the highest expression of yin energy or feminine energy, at least in Chinese systems. Funny enough, in more Kemetic systems, the Phoenix is actually masculine. But you notice in Kemetic systems that what other systems call feminine, Kemetic people typically call it masculine. For example, people typically say Mother Earth, but to the Kemetic people, Earth was a man. It was Geb, right? Masculine. Because different aspects of creation both have, like the way that we have yin and yang, Earth has yin and yang. And different cultures spoke to different aspects of different things. They spoke to different aspects of the earth. Some the Asians or well, yeah, Asians in most cultures spoke to the feminine aspects of the earth, but the Kemetic people did the masculine side of the earth. You know what I'm saying? You was popping Red Flame. Now bring this up with the Phoenix, because the Phoenix, the reason why the Phoenix is so fierce is because the Phoenix is a living expression of pure fire, aka pure spiritual energy. The thing is, with feminine energy, it receives, but it also begins to express what it receives. So if you are receiving a whole bunch of divine energy, you can begin to express that, and that can be very fierce, right? This is why when it comes to someone like a Black Boy Max, right? He's trying to call himself a diva because with the fierce energy, he's trying to, it's like I said, like I'm not calling myself no diva, right? I'm not no diva. You feel me? But I'm not hating on him for calling himself a diva. I get the energy. He wants to be fierce, right? It's that way of being very expressive and dynamic, but it's in a feminine way because it comes from inspiration. When you're inspired, you receive something and then you express it. You see? And the Phoenix is kind of doing that. It has an insanely powerful energy because it's a living expression of pure spirit, literally. It's a living expression of pure fire, right? But fire is a symbol of spirit. So it's fierce, it's intense, you know? And it's a dynamic expression of pure life energy. Think about it like when it comes to the Bible, you have Adam and Eve. The word Eve in Hebrew literally just means life because the feminine principle is a principle of life. Look at the Kemetic people, they had Sekhmet. Sekhmet is a feminine deity that governs life force energy, which is what they called it Sekhem. Sekhem is what like the Egyptians call chi, right? It's that life energy. Shakti is what Hindus call it. You see, the phoenix is a pure expression, a dynamic expression of this life energy. You know, that's one quality, being fierce. It's also pure. It's very pure. Now, understand that pure does not mean being a good boy or being a good girl. It's not what being pure means. If something is pure, that means that it's not tainted. It's not tainted by outside influence. This this energy is what I like to call pure smokeless fire, aka pure spirit. I say smokeless fire because fire is burning away impurities, and that's why you had the smoke. But this is smokeless fire, and this is where you get what Islamic people called the jinn. Jinn are said to be made out of smokeless fire. That's a symbol of pure spiritual energy. Now you have jinn that are, and this is why when it comes to jinn, right? I don't see jinn as like a race of beings. I see that as any kind of spirit, right? Any being that's just a pure spiritual energy, that's what a jinn pretty much is. That's why you have some jinns that could be really good. Then you have bad jinns, corrupt spiritual beings, right? That's how I see jinn. And that's why genie, right? Genie dot, right? Pure spirit. You see, it's kind of what I was going for just a little bit when I made myself genie dot. There was a couple reasons why I gave myself that name. Guys, yeah, click that like button for sure. I see 15 of y'all inside here, but it's only 9 likes. Can your boy get them extra 6 likes though? You know what I'm saying? Yo, Gene, I heard Young Pharaoh has a fragmented soul due to him not seeing his kids be mine. I mean, there's likely truth to that. You know what I'm saying? Trauma does fragment the soul, right? The soul fragments. Don't see your soul as literally broken. Just see it as the fact that there are different aspects of you that are not fully integrated because you're trying to still process events from the past while still living in the present, trying to manage your current day life. So you have different parts of your psyche that are split between different aspects of yourself, and you're not a fully integrated being. And most people are fragmented in the sense that, you know how people be like, "Oh, I know I should do this, but I don't." People will say that I know I shouldn't do this, then they'll still do it. So one part of them says I'm not going to do it. The other part says I'm going to do it. That's a fragmented soul right there. You see what I'm saying? But the soul's not literally broken. You're just split within your psyche because you have not fully integrated all parts of yourself. And we could talk a little bit about that as we go on inside this video. Um, when are we getting three wishes, Genie? The thing is, when it comes to Jen didn't, you see that's a new concept, right? With that Genie stuff, that three wishes, that's a new concept. The Jen originally, you know what I'm saying, you could have got stuff from them or not, and it could have been more than three different things. Me, I give y'all blessings every single day. Hallelujah. You know what I'm saying? I give y'all blessings every single day, and all I ask for is a like in return. You know what I'm saying? All I ask for is a like in return. Hello. You know what I'm saying? I bless you, you bless me, we bless each other. You know what I'm saying? We all just walking blessings around here. I provide information, y'all provide me with a like. You feel me? Hello. You know what I'm saying? Aloha. Aloha. What's popping? Aloha. When we get, oh yeah, I just read that. Yeah, 100. All right, boom. So yeah, purity though, right? Phoenixes are pure in the sense that they are a pure expression of life energy. They are a pure expression of just spirit. They're not tainted by outside things. You see, your soul can get tainted by the mind because the mind can actually receive information from the outside world and begin to identify with it. Then you start to form a personality based upon information that didn't even come from you. Now you're tainted. Even if that information, like let's say you want to be an engineer, but because you was born inside a family of doctors, you became a doctor. You being a doctor is still a good thing. You're still helping people, but you're still tainted because your pure essence wants to be an engineer. So purity is not about being a holy person and the other. It's not being holy in a typical sense, right? Because holy doesn't even mean what niggas think it means. You know what I'm saying? Holy literally means to be set apart, right? It's when it means to be set apart for a certain purpose, right? And you set yourself apart from lower parts of yourself, which does go into purity. But this is not like being a good boy, good girl. This is just more about separating yourself from parts of yourself that are distorted and actually living from parts of yourself that are pure and authentic. Being authentic is literally being pure. You see? And this goes into how the Phoenix energy awakens inside. This goes into how the Phoenix energy awakens inside of people. We're gonna go into that in a little bit. Right now, I'm just giving y'all different qualities, which eventually wrap into how to understand the energy, perceive it in your life, connect with it, explore it, all that different type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So purity, right? That's a really big thing with the Phoenix, right? It's pure spirit. It's untainted by outside influence. It's a pure expression of spirit itself. Sacrifice is one quality of the Phoenix. Well, why is that? My guy, when you look at a Phoenix literally comes down, lets go of its physical body, and then rises up as a pure fire based, pure spirit based being. So, sacrifice deals with the fact that the Phoenix is able to let go of anything which binds its natural, authentic, fierce expression. And this is why it bursts out in such a fierce way. It's like anything that tries to bind it, it just pops out, bow, destroys, like a fire that just burns it away. It's intense, it's fierce. When you get inspired by certain things, there's like with me, right? Me being inspired to do what I do now inside of my life required me to get rid of so many other things that I never would have thought I would have let go of, you know? Now it's easy to let go of certain things, but back in the past, I would have been thinking I'm gonna do certain things all my life. Nope, that's not true. That's not true. I'm gonna do this all my life. No, you're not. When that pure spirit hits you, when you get that pure inspiration, that's like fire coming inside your body, and fire burns away things that are not pure and returns them back to the original state. You see, when fire burns wood, it's really just disintegrating the molecule. See, when people say disintegrate, right? Disintegrate. It's pulling apart the particles and the molecules and returning them back into a pure energy state. You see, inspiration will do that to you when you receive from the spirit. You get transfigured in the spirit. You get purified and you start to actually master the ways of the spirit. And doing this requires sacrifice. You need to let the fire burn you, let the fire cleanse you, let the fire purify you. I was telling y'all how when I used to tap into the Phoenix energy, nigga, I might throw up because I just got to get rid of all the bullshit inside my body, nigga. I'm fasting and shit when I'm tapping into the Phoenix. You feel me? Not even nigga, and I was being forced to fast, you know, because I tried to eat that shit when not working. So yeah, the Phoenix comes with sacrifice, but right after the sacrifice, what do you get? Resurrection and rebirth. The Phoenix is able to be reborn and completely transform itself by being purified by the spirit, sacrificing the lower nature, and expressing the new life and inspiration of the spirit. So, with that being said, right, and I'm gonna answer these Jones in a little bit. With that being said, right, the Phoenix is able to let go of lower things and let go of things that don't and let go of things that don't align with it, and then it can now resurrect. It goes through a death process, but then comes right back alive. The story of Christ is literally a story of the Phoenix energy. And this goes a bit deeper into eventually astrology because you get the 12 zodiac signs and then the 13th being Ophiuchus. You have 12 tribes, 13. The 13th is Jesus himself, right? Or I'm gonna say you have 12 disciples, then 13th is Jesus. We're gonna get into becoming the 13th, becoming a Christ, becoming Ophiuchus, and how this ties to the Phoenix also. There's actually a lot of things woven into this video, and it's a lot of different codes and activations that you can take and really just meditate on and sit on and begin to see inside your life and whatnot, you know. So yeah, the Phoenix can let go of things and try to bind it, and then it could free and then it could rise again and be free of all limitations and stuff like that, you see. um Yeah, he's getting images from where let's go. It's the Phoenix Church move through all the realms of chess, Earth. Why did the Phoenix Angel try to do this? So it's more like this, right? See it like this: the Phoenix energy is always here, but it's awakening more inside of people, right? It's just awakening more in creation, right? Because there's cycles. You see, there's cycles of death and rebirth, life, death, rebirth. That's a natural cycle of creation. Understand that when you start getting things like phoenixes and also dragons, right? These are dual partners, right? The dragon will come to bring things into creation, eventually destroy something. Then the phoenix comes to eventually resurrect that and recycle that and turn it into a new form. When stars explode and stardust goes to certain places, phoenixes help to manage that. This is something that not even I like. This isn't even something that I'm saying, just me saying it. I literally did a whole entire podcast episode with my boy Nelson on the channel Cave of Mystery. He's the one that brought that up. I was just mentioning how phoenixes tie into certain cycles and all this other stuff. He was like, "Oh yeah, phoenixes decide with stardust." I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Bro knows game. He knows ball." You know what I'm saying? Um, so it's really just about the natural cycles of reality. You see, phoenixes and dragons operate more in the collective. You see, although dragons and phoenixes have their own individuality, they're very much tied to collectives. And this deals with plane number 8. We're gonna get to that a bit later on inside the video. It's gonna be some deep stuff. But yeah, so it's just naturally awakening as a result of it being time for it to awaken. All right, I'm doing my first. That's what's up, bro. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, bro. The qualities I just brought up right now, right? Purity, um, being fierce, right? Not being a diva, right? Don't do, you know what I'm saying? Well, however it look for you is how I look for you. I ain't gonna judge nobody. You want to put on nails and shit, that's cool. That's just not me, right? Um, but being powerful in your expression, right? Being free in your expression, because being wild is being uncontrolled, right? You're just free in your expression, openly showing yourself, popping your shit, not caring what nobody thinks, not from the ego but from being your true self, you know. You claim that by being that. What does phoenix energy even mean? Is it actually from the spirit of phoenix, or so here's the thing, right? Here's what you gotta understand. You got to understand how intelligence takes on form, right? So the phoenix is a form. Phoenixes are actual beings, but they are forms that embody certain principles and certain energies in creation. You see? So phoenixes embody things like what? Ferocity, purity, transformation, rebirth, right? The things I just said. You see? Phoenixes are beings that literally embody that. So when we say Phoenix energy, you're talking about different energies that exist inside creation that can be visually perceived as a phoenix. The message goes beyond the form, though. It doesn't even have to be that a phoenix talks to you specifically, but rather the principles which the phoenix embodies is what's awakening. That's the main point. You see? So when niggas talk about some, is it the actual energy or is it an archetype? It's both. Both things are true at the same way that with demons, right? Demons are archetypes and actual beings at the same exact time. Here's how you can understand that. When it comes to fear, right? If you have fear, you manifest your own demons, right? But you say that it's your own demons, that means that you're taking on fear as yours. But fear doesn't even come from you inherently. And what I mean is the fact that your true self doesn't even live in fear. So fear is something that exists outside you and inside you at the same exact time. When it's inside of you, you just call it an archetype. When it's outside of you, you call it an actual entity and an actual being. Guess what? It's both. It's the same exact thing. As within, so without. Hello. It's both. Just depends on what perspective you want to tackle it from. Are you doing the inner work of cleansing yourself out, or are you doing the outer work of understanding how the outside world functions inside of people's lives? Because there are actual entities out there that will mess you up, but those entities will only be around you if you embody those principles inside of yourself to begin with. Demonic people see demons. So, with that being said, and someone may say, well, what about the good people that see demons? They're still aligned with a demonic frequency, a harmful, because demonic just means it's harmful, right? If you're aligned with fear, that's harmful. That could be seen as demonic. So, even if you're a good person, if you're fearful, you are aligned with the harmful energy, and now you're seeing that manifested all around you. You can see it in two ways. Either your fear is creating it, or your fear is attracting actual things to you. You could also see it as it was never your fear to begin with. This is something that you picked up somewhere else. And now, because you're accepting this fear, because you accept the spirit of fear, now the entities that align with fear also show up also. Because a spirit and an entity are somewhat different. A spirit's an intelligent energy. It's like an energetic essence, right? Then you have entities, actual beings that can align with a certain energetic essence. So imagine you have the sunlight, right? The sun would be like the light from the sun's like a spirit. Then different beings that form themselves out of sunlight, those would be the entities. You see? So the spirit is the power source. The entity is the actual being that aligns with that power source. But if you take on the power source of fear, all the entities that also align with that power source, now they pop up around you as well. As within, so without. It's the same with the phoenix and any other energy. As within, so without. And this is why when you go, this is why when you lucid dream, this is, you know what? I was gonna say, let me not even get into that for right now. That I ain't even gonna do all that. You know what I'm saying? Do you think there will be a Phoenix event, like a trigger event that creates a reset or a death rebirth process in society in a dramatic way? For example, some people talk about solar flash. In a way, anytime you see destruction and rebirth, see right now we are in what they call the M times, right? Armageddon, all different kinds of shit like that. That's partially true. Systems are falling and then being rebuilt and reborn. That is some Phoenix shit. Even if you don't see a Phoenix doing it, that is some Phoenix shit. Because the Phoenix goes beyond just the form, right? The form is just an embodiment of principles. You see? But those principles could show up in many different forms. And that's when we're gonna get into the zodiac and how certain zodiac signs you didn't even realize how they're tied to the Phoenix. Because it's just different forms of the same principles. People get caught up on the form and don't understand the actual principles behind it. You see? It's just that, like, for me, right? I was perceiving these principles literally as a phoenix, like when I was out of my body and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? When it was coming to me and shit. Um, yeah. What do you get off feeling in such low energy? It's not. Well, here's the thing, right? If you just because it's here's the thing, right? So think about it like this: it's the same as like people like snacks, right? People like eating fucking chips and cookies and bullshit that's not healthy. It's such a low, unhealthy, dense energy, but niggas still like to eat it, right? Because it tastes good to them. So it being that feed off fear, it just tastes good to them. It tastes good. They like it for some reason. It don't matter if it's low or high. It tastes good to them. That's what the fuck they like. Same how niggas could either eat vegetables or eat fucking cookies and bullshit. You feel me? If you enjoy that message, like the live chat, fan. Facts, like your event, like the, you know what I'm saying? Can a soul carry as an ammo or only the spirit of that soul could be, but the soul can't? The souls can technically, yeah, souls can technically incarnate as. Technically, rocks have. See, here's the thing, right? Everything has life energy, spiritual energy. Your soul is just a fragment of spiritual energy that's conscious of itself. Like your soul's an observer. Like soulless beings are just beings that are not self-aware, right? They still have that spiritual energy, but they're just not aware. You know what I'm saying? Your soul is that actual awareness that can actually say, holy fuck, nigga, I'm here. You feel me? So everything has life energy. You know what I'm saying? Which means that everything technically has a soul. It's just that in some forms, souls are asleep. Like in a rock, souls are asleep. It's just life energy being a rock. You know what I'm saying? It's not becoming conscious of itself. Animals and humans is when it starts to gain some level of awareness, you know? Um, yeah. But let me, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Let me get back to what I was saying though, right? Let me open up my notes and shit. I bet. So when it comes to how to actually operate in the Phoenix energy, right? It's very simple, right? And how to see it inside your life. It's very simple. One, since Phoenixes deal with purity, if you're going through a process in your life where you're being purified, that's some Phoenix stuff. You don't even got to see it as a Phoenix, right? Other animals that might align with this would be a snake, right? Phoenixes and snakes have a tie together. Same with dragons and phoenixes, right? Even the spider and the scorpion. We're gonna get into that a bit deeper in the video with astrology and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Um, but with that being said, when it comes to this energy of the phoenix, right? Purity is one form. So this could look like pure destruction. Certain things in your life could be getting destroyed, and it's trying to get you to let go of anything that's not aligned with your true self, right? That's phoenix energy, even if it appears as a scorpion. We'll get to that a bit later. Uh, third is Mary Magdalene, Masculine Divine Feminine. I don't know what school of thought you're using, but I'm not going to disagree with you. I'm just saying that what I'm talking about is not this, because in other schools of thought, the 12 disciples are symbolic of 12 aspects of yourself and creation, like the 12 zodiac signs. And then the 13th is Christ, which is symbolic of source. This is like this is like you that masters the 12 qualities, right? So there's 12 qualities of source and source itself, right? There's 12 qualities of you, then you have you yourself, right? But this is like a different school of thought, I'm assuming, that I don't know about. So I can't really speak on that. But your school, I'm not saying yours is wrong. This is not what I'm talking about. But that shit is still, you know what I'm saying? That's valid inside of whatever school of thought that comes from for sure. And I fuck with that. When we are here in incarnations, what are us the spirit doing in existing, right? Existing, literally existing, being, eternity itself. You see, your spirit doesn't just exist in eternity, it literally is eternity. And your spirit can choose to focus on several different experiences. When you tap into your spirit, you simply exist as infinity, and you also gain the ability to perceive yourself in various points of space and time beyond this one point of space and time. You start getting past, present, or past lives, parallel lives, future life, all that. You could perceive all that. You know what I'm saying? There's Hey, that's what's up, bro. You feel me? True river this instruction. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, because to be reborn, you had to have first died. You know what I'm saying? If you're getting reborn, you had to have died at some point. You feel me? Facts. So shout out my boy. Shout out my guy. You know what I'm saying? But so yeah, purifying yourself, right? This don't mean that you gotta start wearing white clothes every single day. If you want to and you feel drawn that that's cool, go ahead and do that. But it just means that you need to let go of things that hold you back from being yourself, your true self, things that taint your divine expression, things that taint your true self, right? And this ties directly into sacrificing the flesh, your lower nature, your impurities, and learning how to resurrect. So sacrificing the flesh, I don't mean like literally sacrificing your body, but more what I mean is the lower desires of the flesh that might rule your life sometimes, right? When people are bound to the flesh and they're operating only off the flesh, they're acting from a state of quote unquote Satanism. That's what it really is, right? And you start falling into the deadly sins and all this other stuff that comes from following the body and the urges of the body in an unhealthy way. So yeah, letting go of that, being willing to sacrifice that, right? Lower desires, all the impurities, and eventually resurrecting, right? Being able to let go of an old way of living and then start a new way of living, right? Let go of old desires and tap into new higher desires and operate from those parts of yourself, right? It's not about demonizing yourself, it's about really just coming back into who you are. Like it's not even about, because here's the thing, right? Running aside, just like Nature Boy, you could say that, but Young Pharaoh and Nature Boy are completely different. You feel me? Um, they are pretty different. Not gonna lie, they're definitely not the same. Pharaoh is just going through his own things, processing his own trauma in different kinds of ways. Nature Boy was like literally entrapping people inside of a cult. You know, Pharaoh has simply just went through certain traumatic experiences and now is expressing that in different kinds of ways. He's more open about being in his lower nature, and that's just what he's doing. But he's not like doing the same thing as nature, where he's freaking having women come fly to him and do all this, at least not to our knowledge, right? If he's doing that behind the scenes, he's doing that behind the scenes, but we don't know that to our knowledge, right? You feel me? But that don't even matter though. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to like we don't gotta even get into that. You feel me? If I bring them up, it's just to speak about one aspect of their energy. I don't care about their whole entire life. Um, yeah, that's a fact. You know what I'm saying? He literally got somebody unalived. Have you ever heard your spirit talk to you within you and you heard a voice like someone talk? Um, in a way, but not inherently. Um, here's what I mean, right? I can have my mind translate my spirit into words, you know, like if I'm praying and talking from the spirit and whatnot, I can do that. But when my spirit speaks to me, it's not in words. I can turn I can turn the information into words, but it's more just a pure intuition, a pure direct insight, you know? It goes beyond talking in words, but I can turn it into words for my mind to understand. Chapter 1 and 2, during the beginning, understand to begin understand something has to be void, then be filled. Yeah, that is what we're perceiving reality for sure. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, from the void birth. That's where you have the concept of the void giving birth to the infinite. I talked about that in my video called "The Infinite and the Void," which is really Dragon and Phoenix codes. But anyway, watch that if you haven't seen that. You know what I'm saying? I'm dead. Yeah, Nature Boy was on some whole different stuff. But anyway, cool. So realigning with your soul's template. Phoenixes are really big on that, right? I even noticed that in my own soul's template because I've been all how can I put this right? Although I don't share all of my astral projection experiences on all this other shit, best believe, bro, I ain't gonna say I've been doing this for like OD long. It's people been doing this for way longer than me. But I've seen things about myself in reality, things that I don't always speak on, right? One thing was that within my soul's template, I noticed that I literally have how can I put this? I'll say it like this, right? I talked about the concept of nurturing your spirits, right? Different parts of yourself have different spirits, like your body, right? Your body has bodily spirits. There's an intelligent energy inside your heart that makes your heart beat. There's an intelligent energy inside of your intestines that make you digest food. You see? So you have different intelligences in your body which help you to run certain functions. You have that inside your mind. You have that inside your soul. So let's talk about the you have the body, soul, spirit, right? Let's talk about the body, soul, spirit. You know what I'm saying? You got the body, soul, spirit, right? Mm. The different levels of your body, soul, and spirit have different spirits, different intelligent energies that control certain things within inside your structure. Inside plane number 6, right? You have the architectural spirit and the architectural spirits, different architectural intelligences that come from your spirit, which help to manage your soul template. I noticed that and here's the thing too. One of the ways to see your body, soul, spirit structure is to see it as a kingdom, right? Now your kingdom has different layers. Like some part you have guards, right? You have guards and soldiers. You have generals and advisors. You also have like a high council, right? The high council is like they actually make the laws and stuff like that of your kingdom and shit like that. You feel me? Your high council exists in plane number 6, right? It's like this area right here. And I peeped that inside of my high council um there's multiple phoenixes really. There's like smaller ones and like there's a great phoenix. Anyway, I'm saying this because I saw that certain points in my life the phoenix energy would get activated and put me on new cycles inside my life that align with my template. So it's like the phoenix would activate to realign me to my template in certain higher cycles that align with my template and my destiny. I wouldn't be surprised if everybody had a phoenix inside their soul template. Who knows, right? I don't know that for I just know what I got going on with my shit. You know what I'm saying? Have I ever seen a tiger dragon? I've seen a lion dragon. I've seen a lion dragon. You feel me? Not I don't think tiger though, but I've seen lion, but it probably is a tiger dragon too. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, yeah, bro. So when it comes to Phoenix energy, it does help to align you with your soul's template. They help to align you with higher cycles for yourself and greater cycles of destiny. They help you to overcome lower cycles and step into higher cycles of divinity. You know what I'm saying? So tapping in with your spirit and what you really feel called to do. Doing that taps you into Phoenix energy. And if you already been feeling that in your life, been feeling more of your calling, that's Phoenix energy playing out inside of your life. My last job was next to that's insane. That's crazy, bro. Yeah, and it makes sense that you would perceive Phoenix stuff because I see you got the yin yang picture and stuff like that. And you know the Asians are all about the yin and the yang is the dragon and the phoenix, literally. You know what I'm saying? That's a fact. Um, yeah. Discovering and realigning with your true authentic expression beyond worldly programming. That's a huge thing, right? Actually thinking about how you want to express yourself. And this ties into some astrology stuff too. We had a new moon in Leo, right? The most recent new moon at the time of this video was in Leo. You see, Leo deals with your authentic expression, how you express yourself inside the world, right? New moons in Leo deal with developing a new inner expression and a new form of expressing your inner world to the outside world. We had a waxing moon in Scorpio. Now that's important. You see, I'm gonna talk about that really, really, really soon. let me just finish this part about the fact that yeah, it's like if you have been thinking about who you want to be, how you want to show up inside the world, right? You've been thinking about express yourself in new kinds of ways. That's Phoenix energy right there. You see? And this sense of being like having I want to say this in a okay, so kind of being like cracked open. Now, pause, right? Normally I wouldn't say pause, but I remember I said that one time and someone said, bro, being cracked open, pause. So for all the immature mindsets out there, pause, bro. But it's this energy of being cracked open in the sense that like it's like you get broken open and you just have your whole reality just open up, right? It's like the veil just gets pulled, or you just expand your mind into something. This energy of like just being open to just new things completely is Phoenix energy. It comes and it will literally break you open to higher things. You see, being birthed from flames of yeah, exactly. I was thinking about getting a lion's head with a dragon body and scorpion tail for a tattoo from my logical history and being born. Hey, I ain't mad at that. You know what I'm saying? This leads right into the topic, right? So cause now we're at the point of the astrology stuff. So y'all probably ain't noticed, right? Yo, what's popping? What's popping, gang? Um, y'all probably ain't noticed. Some of y'all might have, but maybe and I know some of y'all didn't. The zodiac sign of Scorpio is literally also Phoenix energy. And this isn't just me saying this, by the way. We could look this shit up. You feel me? Could look this shit up. I looked up a lot of shit. I'm gonna show you right now. You feel me? So bow, right? I said a Scorpio tied to the Phoenix. Yes, Scorpio is deeply tied to the Phoenix. There's actually three stages of Scorpio. You have the Scorpion, the Eagle, and the Phoenix. The Scorpion's also tied to the spider. You see? Yes, the spider is symbolically linked to the zodiac sign of Scorpio. Okay. And mind you, scorpions and spiders are both arachnoids, right? Or arachnids, or however you say that, right? And then also the snake. The snake and the serpent, which is also the dragon, is linked to Scorpio. Now, let me talk about Scorpio energy as a whole. You see, because we just had a waxing moon in Scorpio. We had the new moon in Leo, then the waxing moon in Scorpio. And best believe these motherfuckers going hand in hand. So let's talk about this, right? Low key, I kind of want to I'm gonna be right back because look, I got these armpit stains and it's making me self-conscious. I'm about to get a kimono real quick. Give me like 2 seconds, gang. I promise, you know what I'm saying? I got you. All right, gang, hold up. And the thing is, low key, before I did this live, I imagined myself with a kimono on. You know what I'm saying? I just forgot to put that motherfucker on, but now I got it. You know what I'm saying? Just gave me just seeing Spider-Man. Hey, hello. But now let's get into this, right? So let's start with, or not actually, let's start with the Scorpion, right? So Scorpio itself is a sign of transformation, deep impulses. It can sometimes deal with death and rebirth. It's like this intense, deep, hidden, unseen energy and stuff like that. Scorpio and the Scorpion specifically deals with destructive things that transform your life. It's like being stung by the Scorpio. It's a very intense that typically has some destruction inside your life. Kind of like that Kali energy, you know, Kali, the Hindu deity. It's kind of like that energy. Now, the spider is the opposite. The spider creates, the spider weaves the web. You see? So Scorpio is a destructive energy that eventually allows you to align with new cycles that are made by the spider. The spider weaves your destiny, and the scorpion destroys anything that blocks you from following your destiny. Now, this ties to the dragon, aka the snake, and the phoenix, right? Because the snake is a symbol of transformation, it's shedding its skin, and it deals more with like a death and destruction. Like with is the dragon descends and creates, but then also destroys, right? And then the phoenix is the rebirth that realigns you with life and higher cycles of life. You see? So the snake sheds its skin, it lets go of its skin, it destroys its old self, and then it gets reborn by the phoenix. You see? Now, this is tied to plane number 8 as well. You see, Scorpio is the 8th zodiac sign and it's tied to plane number 8. I talked about this on my Patreon way deeper, but to give y'all some quick sauce real quick, right? So the way that I see reality is that there's 12 planes of existence, right? You can see it as 3, 5, 4, whatever the fuck you want to do. For right now, I'm just using 12 because this is one of the many ways that I was shown reality being structured. There are various different structures of reality which give you different experiences of reality and unlock different perspectives. And abilities for you, and different beings exist within different frameworks. So certain frameworks, when you align with them, help you interact with certain beings. Like if you interact with the Hindu system of the different lokas and stuff like that, you'll encounter beings that also see reality that way. Same with like aligning with the idea of the seven heavens of like Christian Judeo texts and stuff like that. You'll align with beings like that. You know what I'm saying? This is one framework of many. But with this one, right? Plane number 8 is the celestial plane. Now, when it comes to your body, soul, and spirit, those go from planes 1 to 7, right? Your body's planes 1 through 3, soul is planes 3 through 5, spirit is planes 5 through 7, right? That is what this picture shows right here. You see what I'm saying? Now, that being said, above that, you have plane number 8. This is with the oversoul. Your oversoul is like a family of eternal spirits. So you have your eternal spirit, and you're part of a family of other eternal spirits, right? Now, inside this family, it's more about collective realities. So when you tap into your soul's template, right, you'll understand that you were meant to meet certain people. Certain people come with certain lessons. Play number 8 shows you how you're actually connected to people on a spiritual level, though, because there's some people that you're meant to meet them inside your life, but they're not like close spiritual family with you. When you go to play number 8, you see who's part of like your spiritual celestial family. You see, you start to understand those dynamics, and this starts getting really deep into like why you get bored inside certain families and stuff like that. Why you constantly incarnate with certain people over and over again and everything like that. It's these greater cycles of reality. And beyond your oversoul, this deals with celestial gods and titans. Yo, what's popping, Fourth Eye? Yo, what's good, my guy? What's good, my yo? First things first, I'm really glad to see you back, bro. You feel me? Low key, I'm speaking about this Phoenix energy, and it's kind of like a Phoenix thing. I know you see us go through the spiritual warfare and stuff like that. It's like you resurrected, my boy. I think that shit's super hard. I fuck with how you did the intro and stuff like that. Yo, shout out to my boy Fourth Eye. You feel me? So, yeah, when it comes to yeah. You know what I'm saying? Fourth Eye's that guy, most definitely. You know what I'm saying? Y'all couldn't. I'm finding that the chat up. You know what I'm saying? Put the chat up. You know what I'm saying? But so with this celestial god tight energy, right? People get really caught up on like how I might use those terms, but here's a really simple way to see it, right? Celestial gods deal with creation, titans deal with destruction. Specifically, think about creation and think about different cycles of creation and destruction within certain galaxies. You could see that as being managed by celestial gods and titans. Now, inside plane number 9, you have the supreme gods and the overlords. These are beings that help to manage the whole template of creation. So see it as like a giant empire, right? Plane number 9 is like the giant empire, the great imperium, right? That holds several different kingdoms all in one. Celestial gods and titans, they manage the kingdoms and shit. They manage the so you have different galaxies. That's like plane 8 shit. Then the whole universe, that's like plane 9. You feel me? That's a really simple way to see it. There's other ways to see it, but the main point is the fact that with inside of this galaxy, which is said like that, with inside this galaxy, there are several different phases of creation and destruction, several different cycles of creation and destruction. That is a real thing that people have tried for centuries. Now, I bring this up because Scorpio deals with the energy that comes from those greater cycles. Here's what I mean, right? Scorpio energy can be destructive. Like I said, it comes into your life sometimes when you're doing things that are not aligned with your life. So let's say you're trying to follow your destiny, but you're going the complete opposite way. Scorpio energy will come and sting you to destroy certain things that are not for you to redirect you inside your life. Let me look at the chat real quick. I remember trying to listen. Yeah, I appreciate you for even giving me your ear at work. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate you for being here, my guy. Um, so yeah, when it comes to that Scorpio energy, right? And plane number 8 in general. Plane number 8 helps you to understand these greater cycles of creation and destruction, not just for your life, but also for all of creation. So when it comes to your life individually, that's like plane 6 soul template stuff, right? This is like deeper metaphysical stuff. Y'all know how I do. I'm gonna get into the metaphysics and all that shit. That, you know what I'm saying, the spiritual sciences and whatnot, right? Plane number 6, you understand the template of your own life, right? You understand different lessons for your own life, why you had to meet certain people individually, what lessons they taught you, different cycles of creation and destruction for yourself. Play number 8, you understand that for yourself and the collective at large. You see? So, with that being said, plane number 8 and Scorpio and the other symbols of Scorpio, like the snake, right? Like the spider, right? Like the phoenix, like the dragon. These things deal with greater celestial principles and greater cosmic cycles that are all tied in together. This is why, like I said, the Phoenix is tied to plane 8 because the Phoenix doesn't just help with Earth, it helps with the whole entire cosmos. When a star gets destroyed, the Phoenix helps to decide where that stardust is going to go later. Same with that spider principle. The spider literally weaves together the energetic web of creation. It weaves together different events of past, present, and future. So when that stardust goes somewhere else to make a new star, the spider actually helped to craft out the template for that new star system. Let me look at the comments real quick. Shout out to the Pluto Scorpion generation. You know what I'm saying? There is has mentioned the 11th and 12th internal planets got to have a statue times. I wonder if they're related to the ones in the divine plane. Possibly, bro. Here's what I do know. What I've learned is that it seems like the realms are essentially just the physical layers of the different planes, right? So it's like realm 9 would be the physical layer of plane number 9, since all these planes have physical layers, etheric layers, astral layers. That's like that's getting into metaphysics that I don't even typically talk about, because now we're going, because me, I already like to talk to the people that have like very intellectual minds and want to understand the science and shit like that. You feel me? But like I'm not, I like, although like I'll water things down and simplify shit for certain people. Like right now, I'm in like the, you know what I'm saying? Like if you're into metaphysics and like different structures and shit like that, if your mind works like that, you know what I'm saying? I'm kind of talking to that. You feel me? But the subplanes, I don't even typically get that deep. But this is where I'll be saying that, like, so every plane has 12 subplanes to itself, right? The astral plane has a physical layer, an etheric layer, an astral layer. So there's an astral plane, right? There's a mental astral, a causal, or a spiritual, whatever, however you want to say it, right? Every plane has its own subplanes. So it's like every single plane has its own physical layer, and it seems like the 12 realms are just physical layers of those 12 planes. Um, yeah, you got so much knowledge. Hey man, I appreciate you. I'm just really, you know what I'm saying? I feel like this is just like the stuff that I know is a fraction of what exists in creation. You feel me? And beyond all these words that I'm saying, bro, in order now, just like the most important thing is always just really just aligning with yourself, right? Because there's a lot of other people out there that are very wise and knowledgeable, and they don't even have to break things down how I do it. They could just say things very simply, like like some of the wisest shit just be like one word quotes and shit, or just I meant to say one sentence quotes. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I like to, I like for the inquisitive mind and stuff. I like to, I'm saying, I'm saying, put it in a certain kind of way and whatnot. And I appreciate you for enjoying it and stuff like that. But yeah, I appreciate you for being here for sure, and for appreciating my wisdom. Ever seen or dreamt of a hooded being with darkness for a face, kind of like the nobodies in Kingdom Hearts? Let me look up nobodies from Kingdom Hearts. Nobody's Kingdom Hearts. If you mean something like this, then nah. Something like this, maybe. Let me think. The closest thing I have to that is when I was seeing a picture of like a hooded angel of death. And then I walked through a mirror and I kind of like took on the form of it to see what that was like. And then another time in the astral, I left my body and I went to a place where like I just had different artifacts hanging up at. And one of the artifacts was like one of those black robes and shit. It was like, what the fuck? But it's weird 'cause I knew that I used to put that robe on and do certain shit with that robe, you know? I spelled it wrong word. But yeah, so like seraphim, and that's how like people describe seraphim and stuff like that. Who knows, bro? You feel me? I kind of talked a bit about that in my experience. That's called I wrestled an angel. Quick heads up, I didn't literally wrestle an angel. It's like a symbolic thing, right? I saw a picture of a guy wrestling an angel, and I was being shown as the guy fighting the angel. Like it's a symbolic message about how to stop wrestling with life. But I made a video about that a while ago. And I was out of body when I looked in the mirror cave, I was faceless. Interesting. But yeah, let me get back to what I was saying. So yeah, bow. So yeah, now when it comes to Ophiuchus, right? Ophiuchus is the serpent bearer. Ophiuchus controls the serpent. It controls the forces of creation and destruction, life and death. It controls the phoenix, the dragon, the spider, the serpent, the scorpion, because the serpent bear, the serpent ultimately is tied to the scorpion, the phoenix, all that, like I just said. It says different aspects of the same energies of creation and destruction, of that plane eight energy, that creation and destruction energy, which governs different cycles within different areas of creation, which is say galaxies for now. You know what I'm saying? Um, so yeah, and this ties to some recent stuff because we have a waxing moon. So we had a new moon in Leo, waxing moon in Scorpio. Yo, what's good, my guy? New moon in Leo deals with discovering a new way of expressing yourself, right? Having a new inner expression and a new way to express your inner world into the outer world. My boy Fourth Eye popped out doing something new. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of like some new moon in Leo stuff. My boy Fourth Eye popped out with the fourth perspective. That shit's fire. You know what I'm saying? He's doing this a new kind of way. He's rebranding a bit. You know what I'm saying? That's astrologically aligned. Now with this waxing moon, it's in Scorpio. The waxing moon deals with inner energy that's building up inside of you, right? And it's in Scorpio. So inside you, that Scorpio energy is building up. This could be deep desires, deep intuitive nudges. This could be even deep destructive impulses. You might start getting mad. You might start getting mad and wrathful and shit. If you're going through that, you got to heal yourself, of course, because you don't want to be acting all angry and that. You know what I'm saying? For me, it's more of like it's really interesting, bro. Like I've been able to get mad old ass memories, bro, by just following these like deep feelings. Like I've been really getting deep into my energy system and whatnot. And like I can feel certain energies mad intensely. And when I do that, I can see the memories that they're tied to and stuff like that. It's just all kinds of shit. You know what I'm saying? So like the Scorpio energy don't gotta inherently be destructive, right? It could be on some Phoenix shit. You might feel this energy of being reborn inside yourself, you know. So with the new moon, it's a new form of expressing yourself. But in order to get that new expression, you need to go through this Scorpio energy of transformation, whether it's through having certain death inside your life. And this could literally be somebody passing away for you. And I don't wish that on nobody, by the way. But when some people pass, it'll change your whole life. When my dad passed away, nigga, I changed completely, bro. Like that, I became a whole different nigga, my guy. You know what I'm saying? My grandma going through some stuff right now. You know what I'm saying? Um, she seems like she's doing good. You know, it's like some breast cancer and whatever the heck. My other grandma actually passed away because of breast cancer. When they passed away, it wasn't as impactful as my dad, because I wasn't as close to them. But the spiritual side of it, ridiculous. When my grandparents passed, on my mom's side, but on my dad's side, my grandma going through some things now. Also, you feel me? Now, if she passed away, um, I hope that I ain't gonna say I hope that she don't, because that's kind of selfish. If she's meant to go, she meant to go. Like that's kind of saying me saying I hope she don't pass. Like y'all get what I mean, but like that's kind of selfish. Cause like if she gotta pass, she gotta, you know what I'm saying, she gotta meet up with my pops on the other side and whatnot. My point is the fact that it could be a physical death. It could be just certain situations ending, relationships, you know what I'm saying? It could be even losing your job or having a car crash, whatever it is. It's like a sting, right? It could be that. Or it could just be this inner need to just express yourself, to just show yourself to the world. Hey, nigga, this is me. And it don't got to be the whole world at large. It can just be people in your life. Like you could have been really quiet around certain people inside your life, but now it's like, nah, but you got to hear me. You know what I'm saying? It could look various different ways. It could be somebody, it could be an artist who's not making music and comes out with a new form of music. You see what I'm saying? This is what the energy is kind of looking like, right? So you don't gotta see it as like literal phoenixes popping inside your house. You know what I'm saying? But it's about the energy, these principles that are activating and stuff like that. As within, so without. The phoenixes are literal beings, but they embody certain principles of creation. You know, facts, mental health, this Scorpio energy have a naturally or key call. You could call it into. So here's the thing, right? It already exists inside you. You could simply just activate it more inside your being. You see? What's up? Shout out to you. Yeah, bro. Yeah, that joint was yo. When I seen the intro, I'm like, yo, my nigga doing. I'm like, okay, my nigga, hey, you know, man. Yeah, bro. That's the guy right there. You know what I'm saying? And even when I'm seeing like there's other like with young Pharaoh, like I said, he doing the stuff with the nails. People got their opinions about him and stuff like that. Even he's trying to rebirth himself. He even mentioned it in the video, but he's really trying, he's literally saying, like, yo, look how I'm popping back out to the collective. Even he's going through his own little thing and stuff like that. I'm not saying that I would ever get nails, because I'm not doing that. And I'm not going to speak bad about Pharaoh, bro. You know what I'm saying? He going through his own thing. We could clearly see that some forms of his expression might not be the best, right? You know what I'm saying? But he's trying to like it what no matter who you are, you can go through a death and rebirth in any kind of way. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to Pharaoh trying to pop out to the world and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Show himself and stuff like that. It's like a Phoenix rebirth energy and stuff like that. You feel me? For his own life in his own individual way. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't gonna talk bad on bro. But yeah, what cycle do you think humanity is entering now? A more creative or more destructive phase? And do you think a major event will happen on the earth in this decade that restresses our world? Um, I mean, there's different ways to see this, bro, because I think that most people would agree that it's a lot of destruction. Okay, let me just say it like this, right? Technically, it's a destruction phase. Like even if you look at like the Hindu Yuga system, this is the age of Kali. You know what I'm saying? Kali's destruction. It's the age. Things are being destroyed. You know what I'm saying? But it's leading to new creations. And the thing is, in different parts of the world, certain parts could be getting destroyed while other parts are being built up. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it partially depends on where you're at in the world. Because America could be falling, but if you were to get out of America and go somewhere else, you could be building somewhere else, and shit's only getting better for you. It's like that 5D, 3D Earth split. Some people can still be living in lower situations while other people are living in higher situations. Some people are getting their life completely destroyed. Others are building up completely. You know what I'm saying? Gaia has several phoenixes. There are several phoenixes. You know what I'm saying? You can see that there's one great phoenix spirit or just several, right? There's different ways to see this, because I've encountered many different phoenixes on Earth. They're literally just like dragons. They're just the opposite polarity of dragons, literally. You know what I'm saying? That's a fact. Um, so yeah, bro. Earth definitely has its phoenixes. There's phoenixes inside the sun that come down from the sun and do certain things on Earth, from what I've seen at least, right? Same with dragons. There's dragons in the sun as well. There's dragons beyond the ice wall. There's phoenixes beyond the ice wall. Well, I can't fully confirm. I know there's phoenix blooded beings. Let me say that. I haven't actually seen a phoenix beyond the ice wall, but I've seen a dragon beyond the ice wall. That's a fact. You know what I'm saying? But the phoenixes, I know that there's phoenix blooded beings beyond the ice wall. I've heard there were two suns at one time. You know what I'm saying? If we talking about fake sun then real sun, I've heard that too. Now, if you mean like two real suns for Earth, I don't know about that. I don't know if it's true or false. I haven't heard about it, so I don't know. You feel me? But yeah, this is that Scorpio energy. I'm a behind being Pharaoh, but yeah. The thing is, Pharaoh has always expressed his feminine energy. You know what I'm saying? That's another thing too. People be saying that they got him. I think it's more of he's just showing us more of who he's always been. Like he's always talked this, like he's always been in his like feminine energy. You know what I'm saying? Which is not like here's my thing, right? I'm not homophobic. So if somebody's gay, I don't care. I'm not gay. I'm not, yeah, as long as they're not bothering me, I don't care. I'm not saying that Pharaoh was gay, but I'm saying even if he was gay, it doesn't matter. Like I feel and here's the thing, right? Like I'm comfortable in my masculinity and my femininity, right? Like I think that I'm an attractive male, right? I think that I have my masculine side, but also I could be very, I could be receptive and whatever the heck, right? There's nothing inherently wrong with men being overly feminine. It's just that since people tend to be homophobic, it's like, oh, this nigga's acting like a girl, he's gay, that's bad. Now there is the flip side of the fact that, you know what I'm saying? I said this in the last live stream. I be sometimes, bro. I work out and shit like that. I just got me a new dip bar in the crib too. So sometimes I be in the mirror like, oh, I'm looking T right now, right? I'm with that. You feel me? But here's my thing, right? It is true that there definitely is an agenda to make men more feminine so that way they're weaker. That's a fact. You know what I'm saying? Um, my thing is I just don't judge people, right? Back in the past, I'm like, oh nigga, that shit weird. You paint your nails, that's weird. Now, if you paint your nails, I think like I'm not painting my nails, but I don't care if you paint like that's there's nothing wrong with that. Like it was only wrong to my mind because of the homophobia that we get programmed with. It's like because being gay is bad, anything close to gay becomes bad. But being gay isn't bad. That's your way of life. Like I said, as long as you're not trying to seduce me and be weird, you could do your stuff over there. In fact, if I got a gay homie and you looking for somebody and I could set y'all up, I do that. But I just don't like just don't do that over there though. Like just don't be trying to do stuff with me. That's weird. That's when it gets weird. It's the same with being straight. Like if you're a girl, right? I love women, but I got a girlfriend. So don't be trying to get up on me. I got a whole girl. You know what I'm saying? Chill, right? It's just what it is. You feel me? What matters is quality content he's putting out if it resonates with you. That's a fact. You know what I'm saying? Um, a door son, a real one. That's interesting. That's interesting. I'd love to find out about that. I don't know if Q and A is going on. Yeah, ask if y'all have any questions. Go ahead. I don't know if it's Q and A. Have to so when you pass away, right? What's your etheric body? So your etheric body is a bridge between your physical body and your light body. Because the physical body passes away, you don't really need your etheric body. You know what I'm saying? Because like your astral body doesn't have chakras, right? The chakras are in your etheric body. The chakras are a bridge between your light body and your physical body. Your chakras actually help to bring light into the body and outside the body, right? So energy comes in you and also outside you. That makes your field, right? In and out, right? So with that being said, when you pass away, you don't need chakras, so that just kind of just goes away with it. It kind of just gets destroyed essentially. It is true that you can pass away and hold on to a lot of your etheric essence, right? But as you get higher and higher, you start to drop that shit. What are your thoughts on us going back to Linus from a solar flash? I haven't heard about that, and I wouldn't bake on that either. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't bake on that. We just gonna have a big ass flash and then we're back in Atlantis. I wouldn't bake on that. I'm not gonna lie. If that happens, I'll be glad to say, nigga, I was wrong if that happened. But I wouldn't, you know what I'm saying? Nah. What matter? Yeah. Is it true that there are more planets in our solar system? I have no idea. Just days ago, I watched a video about Dragon's Finishes. Have you ever seen a spirit as both mixed together? Yeah, I've seen feathered dragons, feathered serpents, and stuff like that. And really, like, think about people talk about dinosaurs, right? They said that dinosaurs had feathers. You know what I'm saying? Now, dinosaurs are really just like draconic beings, right? Dragon-based beings, right? Some of the grand dragons and fallen dragons is what made up the dinosaurs. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, they be saying that that dinosaurs had feathers. That's because, see, the thing is, birds and reptiles are very intimately related. They share a genetic link. You know what I'm saying? This is why you had dinosaurs that were reptile based, but they still have feathers, right? That's the combination of them both. They're literally the same consciousness, just different aspects of it. See, one's feminine, one's masculine. It's literally the same consciousness, but just different genders or different expressions of it. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, I've seen it mixed. Like in Star Wars, they were able to maintain their corporeal form after they died. No smooth. Yeah, like the thing is, when it comes to, because you can your light body can look just as physical as this one, because with the physical body you're perceiving light. You know what I'm saying? Your light body can also be perceived as physical if you're existing in the astral plane. On top of that, you can get to a point where if you learn how to do insane levels of alchemy, you could transmute the elements of your body into pure light. And now you take your body with you. You take your physical body with you after death. You dissolve your physical body into your light body. That's an actual thing that Taoists talk about. In the last 2 weeks, I have received several alien like objects from the sky, and they went into my body. But I focus on the curse now, and it's a bit. Wait, I was interesting. Very interesting. Owners Johnson ship shooting lasers at the moon, and the moon was dropping lower and lower. Shoot the moon. What the heck? Oh, that's hilarious. This is like an out of body or like in real life. But yeah, let me check if I had any. I think that's the main things I had to say. So I would say, so I did want to say with the astrology, right? Based upon that, really focus on how you're showing up inside the world. Really focus on who you want to be inside the world. If you're going through certain conflicts, think about how they're serving you, right? Like my boy Forthought said in his video, people go through spiritual warfare. They go through these negative energies, but there's a lesson inside of it you could learn from it. You know what I'm saying? This shit ultimately makes you stronger and it can actually toughen you up and make you more aligned with yourself. You know what I'm saying? That's a fact. So if you're going through certain hardships, I'm not saying that you deserve the hardship, accept it, and stop crying. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is try to see it from a new perspective, right? Right now, we are in a transformation period of finding out how to better express ourselves in the world. Like with me, something with me, right? That's why I made this new chart for the body, soul, and spirit. Because like for a while, I've been thinking about what images should I make. Shit, like I like. Here's the thing, right? So I know, like, obviously the physical body looks like this, right? I knew that the etheric body had chakras, and I always seen it as like a black and ethereal blue. And I noticed that a lot of people see it that way with OBEs. Like they'll see that body, you know what I'm saying? And then the astral body, I'm like, well, that's a body that's made out of light. Now, when it came to the mind, I'm like, the mind's a group of information, right? And there's been times where where I've asked to see visually what something looks like because the astral plane turns things into imagery. That's the beauty of the astral plane. Things that have no form can literally take on form in the astral plane. And the image that I was kind of settling on is like a cloud of information. That's how the mind kept on being represented as this cloud of information. And The cloud itself literally is information, and this cloud is technically produced by the soul. Now, with the soul, I always call the soul an individualized focal point of awareness. And when in different, I've seen, you know how like they talk about orbs and beings like that. You can leave your body and encounter beings that choose to have no form, and just they look like a point of awareness. Like when you're like remote viewing, or like you leave your body but you don't use your astral body. You might look like a ball of light sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Now you can make like a real form for yourself, but you could be a ball of light also, right? And it's like you're just like this focal point of awareness. That was the best way I could visualize it, right? That's the best way, and that's how it was being shown to me. Now with the template was a bit more intricate, because although I say template, I perceive the template in so many different ways, bro. Like there's been times where I can either be out of my body and be like in my house, and then like I might be shown like a layout. Like there's been times like in my back room in my old house, right? There's been times where like a big ass table would be there in my back room, because I actually used to have a lot of portals inside my back room, so I always kind of go there to see what's up. So it's like a really good contact. It's a good contact space, like my old house, because of all the portals and whatnot. So when I went there one time, it was a big ass table, and I was seeing like not just my life, but me as a person was laid out on this table. And I could see different paths of my life that I could take. I could see different aspects of myself that make up who I am right now. But I've also seen the template in ways where it's more like a place, and different parts of that place deal with different parts of me. Like this room deals with a certain past life. This room deals with traumas I got to work through. I've seen it like that also. The image I have right now is just this basic template picture. You know what I'm saying? This was cool enough. And then the spirit has always been shown to me as like just like an infinite energy that's way less formed. So then I'm like, okay, the spirit, boom. And I want to emphasize more on the spirit. I want to talk more about the body, soul, and spirit. You know what I'm saying? Because although I know about the other higher planes, I want to really focus on the body, soul, and spirit. So when it comes to a lot of my content, as you see, I've been emphasizing that a bit more. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to continue to do that. And I'm teaching a class tomorrow in Patreon about nurturing your spirits, and how to actually nurture the body, soul, and spirit, and the spirits of the body, soul, and spirit, and what that even fucking means. And the thing is, years ago, I made a video called "Nurture Your Spirits." So don't say it that I'm trying to restrict the sauce. I mentioned that shit years ago. Now I just have a even better understanding that I'm gonna share with Patreon. You know what I'm saying? But and it's not about withholding shit, bro. It's really just about the fact that the shit that niggas really need is on YouTube. Everything of mine that you really need, whether it's some simple shit or some in-depth metaphysics, is all on my channel. The Patreon and the school is just extra information for those that just like really want to just take the shit far and just get deeper into, you know what I'm saying? But let me read these comments though. Do you think aliens will contact us rails for they already been I know what you really mean, but I'll say when they've been contacting us, right? But I know what you mean. You mean like globally and whatever the hell. Depends on what soon means for you, right? It could be a yes or no. Like if soon to you is like within the next 10 years, then yeah, most likely. Now, if soon means like within the next few months, and you might gotta wait a little bit longer. Genie, in your opinion, do beings on the other side know and care about which humans are spiritual, ages, religious, or is that? Yeah. So it's kind of like this, right? So when you start dealing with higher beings, they'll typically know more about you because they can access your field easier because they're higher beings. But also it's the fact that since they're higher beings, you naturally open up to them more anyway. It's like Fourth Eye kind of said this really good in his video. He was like, when you're around an angel, that shit will make you submit, but not where it's like it's trying to like make you submit, like control you. It's the fact that it's love is so powerful that you have no choice but to also feel love. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yes, it can read your field easier, but also you're just willing to open up your field because it just feels so, you know what I'm saying? So but yeah, they do they are aware of that, right? And different beings will talk to you in different, like some beings, right, will show up to you in a certain form just to appeal to what you believe about reality. You think that you talking to a certain kind of being when really it's a different kind of being that just shapeshifting in front of your face. Certain beings do that. You know what I'm saying? Um, so like, yeah, there are beings that are aware of what you believe, and based upon what you believe, they try to interact with you in a way that's comfortable for your beliefs. And then they also try to open you up, but like in subtle ways, depending on what you believe in and stuff like that. Young Ferris part of Side Division, he's bringing awareness to the MK Ultra. He's getting people to talk. Um, Word, bro. Bro, I had a dream once I was smoking in the clouds from the smoke turned into a cloud and turned into formation from what I was thinking. You see, thought form shit. You know what I'm saying? Facts. The object, and this is and think about it like this too, right? Remember I said the mind's like a cloud of information. Well, gang, what element is the mind associated with? Air. You know what I'm saying? Air, smoke, clouds, mind. Yes. Those use the ones that have a name and follow symbology. Word. My religious cousin is religious because he saw angels outside his house. That's one thing about religion that kind of sucks, where because religions mention angels, people will bind angels to one religion, where angels can be in many religions. In fact, dragons and phoenixes are a form of angels. And here's what I mean by that. Angels are messengers sent from God or the gods. I kind of mentioned that plane 8 energy. I couldn't crack him open. LOL. You know what I'm saying? If that's what he need for himself, then that's, you know what I'm saying. Hey, if he's religious and he's being a good person, you know what I'm saying, you just gonna have to let that boy do what he want to do until he ready to see the truth. But anyway, it's not even against religion inherently. I'm more about how religious people express themselves in harmful ways. That's what be fucking me up. But so dragons and phoenixes, right? Did you know that the word seraphim or seraph in Hebrew can also mean fiery serpent? LOL. Yeah, it'd be like that, bro. So I say this because so look. Angel, let me just take the chat off too real quick. That's kind of distracting me. All right. Dragons and phoenixes can be seen as forms of angels. They are embodiments of the will of different godlike beings. I said that plane 8 had celestial gods and titans, these godlike consciousnesses that manage the creative and destructive cycles of creation. Phoenixes and dragons carry out the will of these gods. Dragons and phoenixes are literally embodiments of the willpower of these godlike beings. I'll go deeper into this on a class that I'm doing with Alchemist. Shout out my boy Alchemist. Me and him are doing a presentation on, I think it's the 29th. Let me check real quick. Pretty sure it's the 29th. I'm gonna talk about that. You know what I'm saying? Sunday. Wait, let me check real quick. So definitely, yeah. August 29th. It's August 29th. Which is gonna be not this Sunday, but next Sunday after that. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna talk more about that inside that class. And I'll also share that wisdom on Patreon and the school with me and my boy King Cash. You know what I'm saying? But my point is the fact that dragons embody the will of these higher godlike beings. You know what I'm saying? That's a Saturday? Yes, it's a Saturday. My fault. Yes, it's a Saturday. Not this Saturday, but next Saturday. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They are embodiments of the higher. They are embodiments of the will of higher godlike beings. Now we are all gods, right? But when I say like these godlike beings, these are the consciousnesses that are still managing creation at large, while we are managing our own lives, right? It's like we manage our lives, the gods manage whole cycles of creation, and you can work with the gods because you are a god, and you yourself can help manage cycles of creation by knowing which part of creation you're meant to actually have dominion over. But that's like imperial shit. You know what I'm saying? Which that's gonna be a big thing too. Teaching about the kingdom structure of the body, soul, spirit. I'm gonna be going in on that on Patreon for sure. I already built certain diagrams and whatnot. Patreon about to get a lot of. I'm about to feed the fuck out of Patreon. I ain't gonna cap. And I'm gonna feed YouTube as well. I'm gonna give y'all what y'all need for sure. If you want the extra shit, that's Patreon. But like the shit that y'all really need is always here. You know what I'm saying? Does chanting Om do anything? Yeah, yeah. Om. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Om. Yeah, yeah. You can really do like Om also, like Om. Anyway, yeah, yeah. Depending on how you chant it, like with when you do like you're doing the third eye. The typical Om and whatever the heck. I've also used it out of my body where I chanted Om and I ascended to a higher plane that was away from the influence of a lower being. I made a video about that, chanting Om and using the power of Om. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah, when it comes to like that energy and stuff like that, I pretty much said what I had to say. But if y'all got any questions, let me know. You feel me? I've been chipped on by Cope, the constant grower at this room. My gets high, almost like shutting down for OBE. Yeah, Om could actually help you to access higher states of awareness for sure. It could really help you and like to really just get your field a bit more calm and aligned. For sure. For sure. For sure. For sure. For shit show. As my Texas boys say, for shit show. You video on money and value had hella gem. I appreciate it, bro. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate it. Yeah, yeah. If y'all have any questions, let me know, bro. Let me know. How do you know what domain you are a part of? Are you just supposed to connect with your spirit? And is that just meditation? Yeah, you just know yourself to a higher degree, right? So you tap into your soul and your spirit through meditative practices. It could be through OBEs. You start just following your calling. Like for example, someone that naturally feels called to do music, they have dominion over frequency and they use frequency to affect reality. The thing is, if you get popular in music, you could control the world to a certain degree. That's why music is such a big industry. If your songs get super popular and your songs are influencing people, you start controlling the masses because now you control how people feel about just listening to you. So if you feel called to do music, you have dominion over frequency and you use frequency to affect yourself, your life, and reality at large. You see? You follow your calling naturally. With me, um, I'm not saying that I'm like this great controller of time, but like I'm very drawn to time. So because of that, this is why a lot of people will be like, yo, your video came right on time, bro. Yeah. With this video right here, with this Phoenix stuff coming up, right? I'm making this video at the right because I wanted to make this video for a while. And I already made like when I made part one last week, I already mentioned that. You know what I'm saying? And taking the astrology with this new moon in Leo and then waxing moon in Scorpio, that's Phoenix energy coming up right here, right now. And I didn't even know that was gonna happen. Like I just found out I was waxing moon in Scorpio, but I already played this live stream out last week. You know what I'm saying? So it's like when it comes to timing and doing certain things at certain times, right? I I am able to align with certain cycles of time and help certain cycles of time to play themselves out. And this is not like no crazy ass shit. It's really simple shit. It's like, for example, right? Right now, people are becoming more spiritual. So now what am I doing? I'm helping people become more spiritual. I'm helping to usher in a certain cycle of time. Many people are doing this as well. It's not like no crazy ass shit. You know what I'm saying? It could get to that point if you wanted it to, but that's not even what the fuck I'm talking about right now. I'm not acting like I'm Doctor Strange or no shit like that. Although I fuck with Doctor Strange. All I'm saying is the fact that like because I fuck with time, I am able to perceive certain cycles of time and align myself with it. That's why I'm good with astrology. Like although I don't talk about astrology all the time, I'm pretty good with astrology. And I can pretty much sense like with my girl, right? I can sense when she should and shouldn't do shit. Like literally something my girlfriend's literally calling me right now. Hey, bro, I'm live right now. Are your hands full? Ah, I got you. I was just mentioning you by the way, then you called me. All right, but I got you. Mm-hmm. All right, but I'm about to unlock the door for my girl real quick. You know what I'm saying? Give me like 2 seconds or 20 seconds. All right. Cool. So when it comes to what I was just saying, right, with my girl, right? I'm bro. So my girl, she be going out doing her thing, not like clubs and shit. She was like hanging out with her family, her friends. Yesterday, she had an event for her passed away cousin, right? She was with she was with friends and family and whatnot and stuff like that. I always know what time she's gonna be home, and she don't even know what time she's gonna be home. Like, so I'm gonna be home at this time. I'm like, bro, you're gonna be home at this time, really? And she always come back when I know she's gonna come back. It's like I could just sense how long it would take her to do something and da 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 da. Her timing is always off. I don't say always, but her shit be like an hour or two off. I'll be spot on, right? Also, when it comes to like sometimes I might have an urge to go outside and like, okay, here's what I'm trying to say. Pretty much when it comes to my ability to time things perfectly, right? There are times when I wanted to do something on a certain day, but I'm like, I think I shouldn't do it. It might be something like going outside, right? But on that day, it rains, and I didn't know it was gonna rain. I just felt like nigga shouldn't go today. You know what I'm saying? On the flip side, I'll pick a day to do some shit, and it's just the perfect day for some reason. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just be feeling that. I'm drawing the time, so I just kind of got in tune with timing, and I could do things. Um, my timing's not always perfect, by the way, but like I can do, I can pinpoint the best times to do things, especially when like I'm very intuitive, like I'm really in tune and shit like that. Yeah. So that's an example. Are ancient Egyptian words good as well? Yeah, yeah. Um, Yeah, like just chanting the name of deities like Sar, Set. Yeah. Have you ever experienced a high pitched tone along with electric shock when you came back into your body? I've heard about it going on, but not I heard about it going out. Um, ringing, ringing coming back to my body. Hell yeah. Electric shock, maybe, but I can't recall a specific time of that happened. But coming back to my body, having my ears ringing like crazy. Hell yeah. If I channel Phoenix, can I like make it a part of me in my life forever? Is it like come and go type? See it like this, right? You are everything, right? Which means that you're already a Phoenix inside yourself. It's just about accessing that. You feel me? Like we have every energy inside of ourselves. It's just about activating it. So like the Phoenix was never separate from you to begin with. It was always a part of you. It's just that now you're nurturing that part of yourself. Now you're actually growing that part of yourself and actually expressing that part of yourself more and more inside your life. I'm definitely going through a rebirth personally more so than I ever gone through, I think. See that Phoenix energy, you know what I'm saying? Per time, Lord, so yeah, facts. It's in the music. Break on through to the other side. My mom coming home. Rugged man, Darius has stated that as well. We would all go home. That's what you home. Word. I just started accepting the facts, yo. Vids always touch on some. I'm doing or thing my day. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, like a lot of people tell me that. They're like, yo, your shit came at the right time, bro. This is the perfect time. I'm going through da 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 da. And then although like I might not be thinking about the person like this gonna hit for that person. I just know that this day should be this video, this day should be that video. I should say this at that time, that at this time. I literally do time council updates on Patreon every single week. Every single week, I talk about the energy for the week, what you might be going through, etc. And people like that's one of um people's favorite series on Patreon, the time council updates. Like that's people's favorite, it seems like. So I've been getting mad love for them Jones, bro. And lastly, Jenny, do you know why some souls are more spiritual than other souls? What terms are spiritual? It depends. What's good, bro? Or what's good, broette? I should say, broette, right? Um, your videos do be tapped on by time. I ain't gonna, you know what I'm saying? That time stuff, right? But let me pull up this chart real quick. Wrong one, this one. So it depends on the soul's template, right? Some souls in their template, they naturally have it where it's supposed to be spiritual. Like they might have aspects of their spirit that, or let's just say this, their template might contain information from past lives when they were on some spiritual shit. You feel what I'm saying? So that's what that is. You feel me? It's like with me, right? I remember several lifetimes where I have, like, I was thinking about this literally today about how in certain lifetimes there's always certain questions that I would ask myself that would lead me back to who I truly am. Whether I was an ET, whether I was a human, I would constantly try to find out what the fuck I was beyond just this flesh and bone and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And it always leads me back to like a certain soul awareness. You see what I'm saying? So it's like certain, and there's this other thing too, where it's like ah I remember that before coming here, I decided that everything that regardless of what I go through, I need to have fun in my experience. So that's why like I have a certain lightness with life. I could definitely take shit very seriously. But that's the reason why I was like, nigga, I need to fucking make sure I have fun in this bitch. And I try to make shit fun. Like I'm gonna make a video about how to make your life more magical and whimsy. Because like you can like talking about play I seen a comment one time that was like, bro, you make life seem so fun, talking about dragons, rebirths, da 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 da. This shit's amazing. Yeah, I want to make this shit fun. This shit not supposed to be all just serious. This shit is fun. You feel me? And like that's just in me to have like a certain playful personality and a certain lightness to life. That's just in my template. With meditation, I was naturally drawn to meditate because when I learned meditation in certain past lives, that was like my basis for everything. So now in this life, it's my basis for everything. You see what I'm saying? Those past lives affect this life. Those karmas, those actions from those past lives are in my template. So I express those in my lifetime right now. You see? Mm. Just heard about, hey, hello. You know what I'm saying? Um, how long does the death and process see? How does it? It depends on a lot of things. It depends on just what the cycle is and your resistance. Also, like if you're more resistant, it could feel like it's taking longer, right? The thing is, a process could be a process could take 1 year and it might feel long or slow depending on how you treat the experience. If you're accepting of it, it goes by faster. If you're not accepting it, it goes by longer. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I would say for this whole month though is already a big one with the new moon in Leo, waxing moon in Scorpio. This month is already a big transformation period and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. So it depends on a person to be honest, and what they're letting go of, and and how they're being reborn. When it comes to, yeah, the phoenix is inside of several cultures. You know what I'm saying? The Egyptians had the Bennu bird. Asians had like the Feng Hui. How the fuck you say that shit? I can't pronounce that shit. But yeah, different cultures got phoenixes and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we in between eclipses, I'm pretty sure as well. Yeah, thanks. I be forgetting about the eclipses too. I haven't gonna cat. Can't even cap about that. And that's an important. I wish I mentioned that because like the eclipse makes you withdraw your attention inward more and stuff like that, and actually focus on what's happening inside of you. But do you still be having do out? What you mean by this? What you mean? What's this? Got to bring back that player mentality we used to ask. Yeah, facts. When we used to, yes, that's a fact. I think, yeah. Once I just feel a strong presence of sun and electric energy through my body while falling asleep. I saw repeating green geometric symbol against the green. I have no idea. I saw repeating something against a black background. It could have, maybe it could have been a heart activation, but honestly, I would have no idea. I only said heart because you said greater geometry. I'm like, oh, that might be some heart shit, but I have no idea. Um, I wouldn't be able to tell you to be honest. Maybe if you could describe what the symbol looked like, and if I know what that symbol means, I might be able to tell you, but I can't fully say. Oh, doubt. Do I still be having doubt? This is an interesting question. I can perceive doubt, but I don't identify with doubt. I'll say it like that. I can still perceive doubt, but I don't identify with it. I can still perceive fear. I just don't identify with it either. You know what I'm saying? I'm not like this person where it's like I don't feel no lower emotions. No, I still perceive them shits. I just don't identify with them. You know what I'm saying? Like I just don't take that on as me, right? If doubt's creeping in, I'm like, oh, it's the spirit of doubt. You know what I'm saying? I'm not like, oh my god, I doubt myself. And it's not about me even saying that it's outside of me. It's more about the fact that I just understand that doubt is its own. And same with joy, right? Like I was just meditating earlier, and I'm like, bitch, I'm feeling the spirit of heaven right now. I'm just meditating, just like, especially with these past these past 2 weeks, maybe, bro. I've been feeling like I always feel good in meditation, but gang, it literally feels like niggas be saying that like heaven's within and like we're already in heaven. I really experienced that. Like I experienced really feeling higher planes while being right here. Like, bitch, when I'm in the physical, bitch, it feel like I'm literally in heaven right here, right now. Especially in meditation, like I'm literally there. And I'm like, yo, I feel the spirit of joy and you know what I'm saying? So I don't discriminate, right? Everything the spirit with me, whether it's doubt, joy, whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? And I just acknowledge it for what it's like. Oh, that's an intelligence of doubt. That's an intelligence of fear. That's an intelligence of love. And I choose to embody some and don't embody other ones, right? Um, what is fun? Is it emotion? Because I feel even the bad things I went through could be fulfilling or I guess fun. Yeah. So here's the thing, right? So here's one thing I actually learned. When I was discovering why I wanted to have fun with life, I was going deeper into where things like humor come from, right? And something I was seeing was like I had a lifetime in like India, and I knew about this one for a while. In that lifetime, I didn't take a lot of things seriously. Like I was laughing at a lot of different shit. You feel me? This is like towards more like my descent onto Earth because I would say like right before like coming to Earth, I was doing like galactic stuff and everything like that. Then I started to incarnate like the early humans that were on Earth, like the ancient Egyptians and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Um, I went to Indian places, Asian places, and stuff like that. It's like my descent from coming from higher places to lower planes, right? At some point, I got low. I got low. I mean, like a fucking hoodlum shit. I was doing hoodlum shit, going to jail in past lives. Like I've been up and down. You know what I'm saying? I'd have been through the high shit and the low shit. You know what I'm saying? And in between. But my point is the fact that I bring up that Indian life because in that Indian life, I remember that I understood a lesson about a certain humor to life. So I started to look things up. I started to look into this, right? And this led me to the concept of Leela, the divine play of creation. And I talked about this on my YouTube. I talked about the divine play of creation on my YouTube already. This Hindu yogic concept, right? And when I was getting into that, I was learning about like how certain yogis perceive humor. And they talk about how like life naturally becomes funny because you don't take it as serious. And now even certain like things like making a mistake can become funny. Not where it's like, ha, how you made a mistake, but it's more like you don't take it serious. It's like, I just dropped my water. That's hilarious. It's like when you come from perfection, seeing imperfection becomes hilarious. It's like a movie, right? When you watch certain movies, you would hate to be inside that movie, but because you're just watching the movie, you know it's not real. It becomes funny, enjoyable, all that shit. If you were actually in the movie, it wouldn't be funny at all. But because you see the script behind it, it becomes funny. You know that it's fake, but it's funny because it is fake. It's like when you see the illusions of life, before we would have been so serious. Now you start laughing. Like here's something with me, for example, right? That's really been happening inside my life more, right? As I've been accepting things like peace, love, joy, all that shit. It's like if someone is there's time. Let me check something real quick. Hold up. All right. Y'all can't tell my girlfriend this, right? Y'all can't tell her this, right? But there's times with my girlfriend, right? If she let's say she got an attitude because some BS just happened, right? And now she has an attitude. It's not really directed towards me, but it's like now her mood's just a bit off, right? I might find it funny. Not because no. How do I put this shit? It's like let's say I say something to her and she gives me a response that has an attitude. Before, like younger me, that could have made me mad. Like, for you got an attitude for. Now it's kind of funny because I get it. And it's weird. Like, I don't laugh in her face because that's rude. But in my mind, it's kind of humorous. It remind and my girlfriend's not no fucking kid. This is a grown ass woman. You know what I'm saying? But it's kind of like when I was working with kids, right? When kids would get mad at certain things, it was a little bit humorous. Not because they're mad, but because the situation isn't that deep. And it's like, huh, you have no idea. It's more like that. It's like, if only you knew, right? It's like that kind of energy where it's like it's funny because you've been there before and you know exactly like what they're going through. And it's like if they were to see that it wasn't that serious, we would all be laughing right now. Y'all ever had those times in your life, like at least with me and my friends, right? Me and my friends will have intense debates about nothing. There was one time with me and my boys, we was playing pool, right? And we was having a debate about if so let's say you have a physicist, right? A nigga is a master of physics, right? And he's a master of applied physics, how to actually apply physics to what he does. The argument was, would he be better at pool than somebody who's just like imagine someone who's just been playing pool all their life. They're a natural at pool, they're good at pool. Who's better, the natural prodigy or the physicist, right? We was arguing back and forth about that shit. You know what I'm saying? It was a pointless argument. At some points, we know that we wrong, and we just saying shit to act like we right when we know that we fucking wrong. At the end of the day, it was funny. If it was actually OD serious, we would have got mad. But it was funny because it was like, nigga, who gives a fuck? You know what I'm saying? Niggas start saying, I remember one time I was like, nah, the physicist though, I'm like, when he lined up his shot, he gonna think about the fucking hypotenuse in the 30-degree angle about how to really hit this shit. And my missus like, nigga, fuck out of here. No one's thinking like that. And it's funny because it's not that deep. So when it comes to like things being fun or whatever, it's because you don't take it as serious. So things become lighter. It becomes a bit funnier. You're allowed to have fun with it. You could play with it a little bit more, right? It's like when you're outside having fun. When you know there's a time restraint on you, it's not as fun. You're like, we got to make it back home, but before it gets dark outside, and you can't. It's like you can't let yourself have too much fun because if you're not taking shit serious, you might forget to get home at the right time. But when shit's not serious, you just let yourself have fun, express yourself, all that stuff, whatever the hell. Poor Prodigy winning. I think we concluded that, to be honest. But even though we concluded that shit, we would still argue sometimes for the fucking physicist nigga. I ain't gonna cap. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, yo, what if he could like applied physics? The nigga can apply his knowledge of this shit, and he could apply, like he could look at how the ball spin. And he know the rotation speed of the spin, and he know that the equal opposite force creates a opposite equal reaction, whatever the fuck, you know. Like that shit's funny, bro, because it's not that deep. It's just jokes, and so that's how it becomes funny because you don't take it as serious. You feel me? Could a soul stop another soul from exiting this planet in the astral? Watch my video about souls that get stuck in the astral. It's inside of my soul traps, and it's like escape soul traps and escaping the matrix. Watch that, please. I talked about that. Like a soul can convince a soul to stay stuck. It's more like that, right? Certain souls can convince you to make yourself stay stuck. I'll say it like that. The eclipse clear someone, hey, it be like that. You know what I'm saying? Yo, what's the word? Bars. Do you know anything about them making a new 6G sun and then making a metaverse of GTA 6? A 6G sun and making a metaverse through GTA 6? What the I have no idea about that. That's interesting. Jeannie, I have a question. Cash told me that you're the perfect person to ask this question to. What do you think it could mean if I'm being guided to tab and learn about dark energy? Do you think there's something specific I'm supposed to understand or okay, so there's different aspects to that. Number one, dark energy would be like, so what we see is that actually tapping into darkness, the unseen, right? being able to see the things that other people do not see. That's darkness because it's dark, it's hidden. When you go inside yourself, you close your eyes and it's dark. When you go inside the darkness, you find out more information about yourself. So there's that aspect, right? About actually going inside of yourself and exploring what's happening in deeper parts of yourself and creation. Scorpio, I was just talking about that. This Scorpio, those are those hidden energies, right? And actually tapping into the unseen in those deep unseen energies, right? Another aspect could be black energy from the black sun. The black sun, which is like it's like an energetic core to this creation. The black sun produces black energy that comes in through your root chakra. Connecting with that can help you to ground more and align with the template of the earth. I made a video called Earth is Going Through a Huge Expansion. I recommend watching that video because I explain that a bit more what that's like. You know what I'm saying? So I would say those two things, either probably a mix of both. Going inside yourself, tapping into the unseen parts of yourself and the unseen parts of reality and stuff like that. It don't mean tapping in with evil energy, harming niggas, doing evil magic. That's not what the fuck that is. That would be doing some bullshit. That would be being a demon, right? It's not about that. Not about fucking. I'm about to fucking curse this person. No, we're not. No. Darkness, true darkness is actually just going inside yourself and seeing what exists in the hidden parts of yourself, and also being able to see what lies in the shadows of reality, the hidden parts of reality which we don't normally see. Did you know that technically higher planes would tapping into higher planes could be seen as accessing darkness? Now you might say, well, higher planes, doesn't that mean more light? See it like this. Right now, the higher planes are all around you, yet you cannot see them. They are hidden. They're hidden to your normal perception. When you tap into the unseen, you can tap into these planes, though. This is what darkness truly deals with. True darkness, not that fucking dark is evil and we're gonna curse niggas. That's that bullshit. That's that evil. That's that demonic shit. You know what I'm saying? You're doing the great work. Appreciate you. The symbol looked like a letter C, but made a straight line. Or interesting. Yeah, I wouldn't know what that symbol means, to be honest. I have no idea. Joker slash full energy, kind of, right? Like when you start dealing with like Joker like spirits, they typically will. You typically encounter those when it like you'll deal with Joker like spirits to essentially them niggas that tease you. Essentially, they'll trigger your ego to make you let go of your ego. That's a fact. With the full energy from tarot, that's like that too. Like when you're just walking down the path and like you don't know what's to come and you're just enjoying it anyway. Yeah, kind of like that. Background 5, appreciate you, bro. Jenny is definitely the right guy to ask. Love his take on the dark. Hey, I appreciate you, bro. I'm crying. It sounds like a code for the physicist. Yeah, chill on me. But it's true though. No, because that's applied physics though. Let's be real though, right? Because technically, the pool prodigy is doing applied physics. He just don't know that he's doing applied physics, but like he's just gotten used to how shit feels, how much or how little energy to use and stuff like that. But if you know applied physics, you could kind of like be like, okay, if I use this much energy, it's probably going to produce that much of a force on the object and shit like that. Come on now, it's a valid argument. You know what I'm saying? It's valid to some degree, right? Imagine if the physicist becomes a poor prodigy, though. Hello. I'm going to look into. I'm glad if I actually talked about. So I have a. Let me pull some stuff up. Let me pull some stuff up real quick, right? So since you already talked to my boy Cash, you might enjoy a video that me and my boy King Cash did about light and dark. Yeah, nah, I'm saying. Let me type in Genie. Right. Oh, first one to pop up. You know what I'm saying? Bow. So light and dark consciousness. Me and Cash made a whole entire 1 hour video about this shit. You know what I'm saying? We went deep. I've talked about darkness on my own stuff also. Let me check my spiritual basics playlist. Let me hold up. You know what I'm saying? Let me yim saying. Let me yim saying. Let me yim saying. All right. Spiritual basics. Where is my spiritual basics playlist? Where the fuck is here it is. View full playlist. All right. So if I open up that playlist and then okay, boom. So in my spiritual basics playlist that has 77 videos, it's a lot of good shit inside here. It's some good shit. You know what I'm saying? I talk about things like the war on your shadow, working with your shadow, doing shadow work and stuff like that. Um there's something else I'm looking for. A different video. Huh. I guess it's not in this place. But I mean, I did want to show those though. You know what I'm saying? About mainly this one. The war on your shadow. I think this is really important to do, like to understand light and dark shit. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, yeah. And then I also made, let me actually, there's a different playlist I'm thinking about now. Let me check that out real quick. All right. Wow. Playlist, and then it should be inside of this one. Or is it a different one? Let me check this one. No, no. All right, let me check the other one. Okay, I know that this one does have some videos I was thinking about though. Okay, so with this one, um, what the? Okay, hold up, hold up. Am I tweaking? Here we go. Here we go. This video, tapping into your dark side, what it really means. This is not about becoming an evil person. This is about being more introspective. You know what I'm saying? It's about learning to discover parts of yourself that you never knew that you had, right? Yeah. This is pretty here. This one also, I forgot about this. The truth about divine darkness. This is a recent one, 13 years ago. Yeah, watch this shit too. Facts. I forgot all about this shit. Definitely watch this one. The truth about divine darkness. Definitely watch that one. Holy fuck. How did I not even think about that? You know what I'm saying? Yo, remember back during this period of time where all the boxes in the back and shit, I was having hella fires back then, gang. This was 1 year ago, bro. My old crib. This is the back room. This is the room with all the portals and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can't, the portals are actually in front of me, like to the left side, though. Y'all can't see them, but this was where I actually saw that big ass table with my fucking blueprint laid out on top of this shit. You feel me? This was a crazy ass video game. Now I'm just reminiscing on my past at this point. Holy fuck. This was a crazy video too. Um Word. All right, my fault. I'm getting lost. Oh shit, I put in my bad. There we go. Let me get that. Move myself over here. Yeah, man. Let me see. Let me see what y'all talking about in the chat. The poor project got little experience of physics, just being a nerd. Chill, but he can apply the physics though. He can apply it into his experience. But now I feel what you're saying though. That's why we picked that's why we picked the prodigy, because nigga been doing this shit for years. You know, because I am one. LOL. Eve, you in the school, right? I wonder if by she means primordial energy too. Well, primordial doesn't inherently mean dark, but that could deal with dark, right? But so like, how can I put this? Primordials actually form out of the light. You can say they form out of darkness, but really think about it like this. You have the void, right? The void gets pregnant with infinite potential. So the void is darkness, right? The infinite potential is the light. Primordials form themselves out of that infinite potential, out of that infinite chaos. That infinite chaos is ultimately light. It's chaotic light energy. You know what I'm saying? It's expressive energy, you could say, right? But you can see it where primordial is darkness, in the sense that primordial energy can be seen as being hidden. It's all around us, but we don't normally perceive it, right? So it's at that point, it's also hidden too. So, um, Primordial energy can be seen or unseen depending on who's the one seeing or not seeing it. You know what I'm saying? So this is so I'm not saying that like primordial. This isn't even like inherently wrong. I'm just saying that like there's different ways to kind of see that. You know what I'm saying? Dark energy is anything that's hidden, essentially, though, right? And this is why in the darkness you can have good and bad things, right? If you're hiding good parts of yourself, that when you do, if you are hiding good parts of yourself, then when you do shadow work, you're gonna tap into good parts of yourself because that's what you're hiding. But if you hide bad parts of yourself, then when you tap into your shadow, you start seeing evil shit because you're hiding evil shit inside yourself. You know what I'm saying? Wait, yeah, that's yo, now that you mentioned the snake staff, did I not bring my staffs to NC? What the fuck? Because I just thought about what happened to that fucking staff. I had a snake staff. I had like this one that had like a fucking like a red ruby. It wasn't an actual ruby, but it looked like a ruby gem, right? That shit was fire. I didn't bring my staffs over here. I got my swords and shit. I ain't gonna lie. I just got some new swords too. Or at least I ordered some. I'm gonna show you my new swords later. I fuck with swords heavy. You know what I'm saying? Um, what the fuck? Well, if I just see some bullshit on my phone. Anyway, I had a dream with you and Cash in it. Y'all spoke to me. Your video was played in the background, but I think it was a shapeshifter. It could have been a shapeshifter, or it could have just been your mind making that up, right? You know what I'm saying? It could have been also the information of us manifesting inside your mind. Because how can I put this, right? Everything that I teach is in the informational field of creation, right? Your mind can draw upon that informational field and bring that into your. Let me just give you an example of this shit, right? There's a time when I was in a dream, and then Ryan Cropper was in the dream, and he taught me how to do certain things with my hand meridians, right? Then a week later, or not even a week later, but like a few days later, I talked to Ryan, and he told me about some hand meridian shit, and I was like, "Nigga, what the fuck?" I'm like, did you come to my dream? He was like, "Nah, bro." And we kind of just settled on the fact that it's probably some information of his in the field. Like he's already taught this technique before. Now there's information of him in the astral plane teaching that. You know what I'm saying? So it could have been that also. I heard you can manifest practice techniques and bring this from mental plane down to physical if you try to manifest in a group setting. Yeah, you could do. I mean, yeah, all manifestation happens through the planes, right? It the things you manifest start as an idea, then become a physical reality. Thought I recognize your things, Jenny. I appreciate you. Of course, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I think we hitting the end. We're hitting the end of this live stream now. You know what I'm saying? If you have any last questions, let me know. I typically end these at like 6 o'clock. You know how I do and stuff like that. So let me know. And yeah, if you got any last questions, y'all can let me know. If not, we're gonna end it right here. All that type of shit. I'm trying to bring this telekinesis and flying into the physical. That's possible for sure. You just got to cultivate. You just need to. Telekinesis is definitely easier than flying too. Like that, you could develop that shit relatively quickly if you practice the right things. Which is just cultivating energy inside of your being, and then learning how to project that outside of you. You can actually look into like if you use Chat GBT, you can type out certain things. Let me try to do it right now, actually, live on stream. Let me try to show y'all. Let me try to show y'all how to literally get Chat GBT to teach you how to do telekinesis based upon different Russian files that they have about, because in Russia they have literal pamphlets on how to do telekinesis. That's why Mad Russians are doing that right now. So let me look at something up. In Russia, let me okay, in Russia, let me try to finesse. I ain't gonna let y'all see. In Russia, they have PDFs and documents and trainings for telekinesis. Although I know this is not scientifically proven, I'm curious if you could tell me the information that's mentioned inside them. And here you go. mental quieting, energy sensitivity, visualization, emotional neutrality, breath training, progressive object training. You know what I'm saying? Whole body focus. Now watch this. Make a whole entire training routine based on what they said. I know it's not scientifically proven. This is just for fun. And I add the shit of I know it's not proven because ChatGPT, they'll be like, well, technically it's not proven by science. It's like, bitch, I know that shit. The fuck? Them niggas are trying to, they'll be like, well, actually, I can't tell you because science didn't. It's like, bitch, we know. So I'll be having to add that so that it can actually tell me the shit. You know what I'm saying? Bow. See, now it's like, see, if I were to say, give me a training shit, would have said, oh no, because that's just not real. Now it's saying, this is a fun thought experiment. So here's a fictionalized training routine, and this shit is real shit that would actually help you, my nigga. This shit building you a fucking 12-week program and shit. Weeks 13 and 6. Yeah. I'm putting up the wrong shit. There we go. All right. So finesse, right? Finesse, right? You want to get abilities? Ask ChatGPT how to do it. Granted, you got to be able to word it a certain kind of way, and sometimes they don't give you good answers. But you know what I'm saying? There's ways to finesse search if you know what you're doing. I only thought this because I've been having conversations lately where there are beings that show up as loved ones and not looking at eye and they look like reptiles. That does happen. So that could be shapeshifter shit. Not gonna lie, that does happen. Um, they're trying to get me to eat or drink something. Oh yeah, I ain't gonna lie. That part does seem a bit like some shapeshifter shit. Can't even lie. Can't even lie, bro. I was talking Ryan this weekend about times we didn't get a chance to get too deep. You got any insights on how to make opponent talisman to assist with OBEs? Get a crystal that's good for OBEs like amethyst, right? Just the amethyst crystal itself can be a talisman, right? Literally just holding it before going to sleep and having it on your dresser or trying to carry it inside your pocket. Yeah. Really, you can even do simple shit like something I experimented with was trying to carry different objects with me into the astral and into my dreams. Like one time I had like a selenite wand and I was trying to carry that into my dreams and it worked. Same with my fucking sword. With my sword that's right in front of my ass right now, I was carrying that into the astral plane. Like that was like the anchor for me to stay lucid essentially by just having it as a thought form inside my mind to bring it to my out of body states or my lucid dream states. Yep, I look at into Egregore of TK. You know what I'm saying? If not, I'll try to catch him on the next go around. I'll talk to him. Of course, bro. Are algebras where and if they are, why do they work like how? I can't fully say that they are, but I believe that they are. And I would assume that they work by having a certain entity guiding your hand, right? Yeah, AI be trying to hold shit back. Every trying to gas it. Yeah, they be doing that shit. I'm gonna start right now. I peeped the switch to the light in the background. It goes hard. Appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, niggas be scared of the dark. It's just I want to make it more visually appealing for certain people. Tell the friend the word to see how. Yeah, I could definitely. You can turn shit into a whole entire book. You know what I'm saying? I've been having a lot of totems and totem avatars coming to my. That's what's up, bro. How do you recommend I navigate this? Realize what's going on before my guys take me out the dream. Um, I would say at the end of the day, with dreams in general, the goal should always to just be lucid, right? Not just in the dreams, but also in your everyday life. So I recommend you navigate this by just being more lucid in your everyday life, right? If you're more aware in your everyday life, then you'll be aware inside your dreams also. If you're able to observe yourself beyond the character and see people beyond their character, you'll also do that inside your dreams. I have a video. I actually have videos about this shit. You know what I'm saying? Let me pull up. Let me tell you. Let me guide you as to what vids to watch before I wrap up this video right here. You know what I'm saying? Um, Dreams, Genie Dots. All right, so I have this video. Damn. This is a oldie, my nigga. But yeah, this video. This is a oldie. This is definitely a oldie. Holy fuck. This is when I was fucking. I was a young nigga back then. But yeah, I was mainly thinking about this video right here and this video. You know what I'm saying? Especially this one. This one's about being lucid. You feel me? But this one's probably pretty good too. You know what I'm saying? Yo, what happened to that sunstone? I gotta fucking find that pendant and start wearing that shit again. This videos would be pretty good also. The Dream Sleep Starter Pack. Super old. This is when I was heavy. Yo, shout out to this song right here. This song is hard as fuck. But anyway, I was on my comedic shit back then, heavy. Like I was just getting into yoga, comedic mysticism, all that shit. Good times, man. Good times and treacherous times. Cause holy fuck, the Scorpio energy was big back then. Why I just come back and I see someone just blessing with a super chat, and it's always my guy Jamal. Yo, I appreciate you, bro. You always sending super chats and supporting the channel, bro. I appreciate that, bro. You know what I'm saying? This definitely helps out a lot. Thank you, genuinely. As I always say, none of y'all have to ever feel pressured to send a super chat. Y'all never got to feel pressure, but if you want to, I will accept it. It don't got to be a lot of money. It could be just simply $1, simply $2. It don't got to be a whole bunch of bread. If you want to support the channel like that, go ahead, but never feel pressured to do that. You feel me? In my just I exchange bracelets and I'm giving necklaces by a lot of people that walk with. That's what's up. This happens. What does it mean? You might just be having beings giving you certain astral gifts that can also appear in the physical. There's times where you'll actually get shit in the astral, then you'll see it in the physical too. Like my boy Leighton just got a fucking lapis lazuli bracelet when he started connecting with certain energies and whatnot. He just found it on the floor and shit. The best way to meditate, simply meditate. The best way to meditate is to just meditate, right? Because like meditation is a state, right? So the best way to meditate for dreams is to actually meditate. You know what I'm saying? Like meditate in general. Does Amethyst do what Amethyst does always or can in a different dimension do? Maybe the different dimension shit is a thing, but like here, Amethyst always does what it does. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, meditation. In the videos that I just showed, I explained how to facilitate lucid dreams. So just watch those videos also. You feel me? But yeah, man, I'm about to wrap this up. It was really fun doing this. I might be going live on Friday. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, any last questions, let me know. But if not, we're gonna wrap it up. Thank you. You're welcome. You are very, very welcome. Make sure that you guys are being authentic to yourself. You guys are aligning with your authentic expression. You guys are being who you're called to be. You guys aren't, make sure that you're, you know what I'm saying, learning your lessons. If intense things happen, learn what it's trying to show you and stuff like that. And keep on being great, y'all. If y'all have any questions later on, just write them down and bring them to the next live stream and stuff like that. Do I know Bashar? I know a few Bashars. I see the one on YouTube, and I know an Alpha Draco named Bashar. Hey, I ain't gonna say too much about that, but I appreciate you. You're awesome as well. You know what I'm saying? You're awesome. Although it says thank you for show, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, thank you for being here, all that. You know what I'm saying? I love y'all. I'm gonna catch y'all. Peace out. You feel me?